Lastly is the element of extremism in Pakistan society. Because of poverty and illiteracy, yes indeed, there is an element which is extremist in the society. Unfortunately, this element to an extent is being ignored. There has to be a strategy, and there was a strategy which we had launched, a 5-point strategy, which I will skip. But this has to be addressed so that we defeat or push extremism backwards, because it is extremism which spawns terrorism. Having said this much, I would be remiss if I did not talk about one more factor, and that is the India factor. Now, unfortunately, I being from Pakistan and I being from a military man, I know there must be some Indian students here. We have to face facts if we want to defeat terrorism in a holistic manner. There is extremism spreading in the Muslim youth in India. And the Kashmir dispute still remains brewing. Why is there extremism in the Muslim youth in India? Organization like SIME, S-I-M-E, the Student Islamic Movement of India. In an India Today magazine, 2008 was declared the worst year from bombing point of view, and 550 casualties were suffered in India. And I'm quoting India Today magazine, the most prestigious. And in that, they have shown in a chart, 6 out of those 8 was by local mujahideen. So therefore, we must not behave like ostriches. We must see the realities that is happening there also. That is spreading, this extremism is spreading because of a sense of alienation within the Muslim youth. Sense of frustration because of unequal opportunities and being sidelined. And over and above a degree of oppression when 3,000 Muslims were killed in Gujarat or the Ayodhya mosque was destroyed. This is leading to extremism. Now, why I want to highlight this is, if we do not address the India factor, they are developing nexus with the Pakistani extremists. And we will face a more serious situation in the future. I would like you to mark my words. So therefore, when we are talking of terrorism and extremism, we have to take India, Pakistan, Afghanistan together. If we don't, we are not addressing it in a holistic manner. That much for terrorism and extremism. The other international issue was nuclear concerns, and I will talk about them in a very brief manner. The greatest international concerns are twofold. One is the nuclear flashpoint of India, Pakistan, because the wars that we fought, because every 1 or 2 years we come near war. In 2002, the Indian forces were massed against our borders, and frankly, I moved the entire army and air force against the Indian forces. We were near war. And it was, I would give credit to quite an extent to the government here. And General Colin Powell also, my friend, who used to ring up maybe every 2 or 3 days, and we used to talk very frankly with each other, and he used to ring up Indian leadership also to diffuse the situation. But what I am trying to say is, ladies and gentlemen, this is an explosive situation which must be avoided. The other concern is the safety of Pakistan's nuclear arsenal. Let me address both of these. First of all, why is this a nuclear flashpoint, Pakistan, India? Why are we nuclear at all? Pakistan followed a strategy of defensive deterrence right since its inception in 1947, because we were facing an existential threat. So we saw the threat, we quantified the deterrence that we need and maintained a conventional deterrence force. But in 1974, when India went nuclear, and then they tested a nuclear bomb in 1998, Pakistan had to go nuclear. And it went nuclear. And therefore now, both states are nuclear. All that we need to do and we must do, avoid conflict, resolve disputes, resolve the Kashmir dispute, and avoid unnecessary conflict situations. The other element is the safety of Pakistan's nuclear arsenal. Let me say, in this August gathering, Pakistan established very strong custodial controls in the year 2000. Because I thought, now that we are declared nuclear state, we need to have custodial controls over the development of the nuclear assets, on our science organizations, and therefore we created a National Command Authority and a secretariat called Strategic Planning Division, which took over finances and security from the science organizations. And then as far as the holding of those assets are concerned, we created an Army Strategic Force Command, which is a corps of about 16,000 troops, serving soldiers under a lieutenant general, which has 2 divisions under it, each one having 3 brigades, each one of the brigades having 3 regiments. So that is how we hold these assets. Can these fall into the hands of extremists? There is only 2 ways they can fall into the hands of extremists. Number one, that if the extremists are strong enough to fight this army of ours and defeat them and take over the assets. Not possible. Secondly, if the religious lobby is strong enough politically and they win in election, then form the government. And if they form the government, all the assets are theirs. Not possible again. In the last elections, their votes, they have only got about 3% seats. I don't see in any foreseeable future that they will ever win the elections to form a government. So therefore, I think we ought to know Pakistan, the nuclear assets are in safe hands.